think you know anything about Harry Styles.
Our communities.
Don't talk about it again, so I told y'all so.
Our culture.
I am a Sam Smith. I will be Sam's representative.
Our stories.
It's also not a requirement for you to agree our opinions.
This is the Culture Report.
Welcome to the Culture Report. Today we're discussing some of the hottest topics of the week, including the controversy leading up to LSU's big NCAA basketball championship win, and how First Lady Jill Biden found her way into the mess. But first, we want to welcome this week's guest co-host, Victoria Venezuela, the executive producer of Race and Culture here at 9 News. So welcome to the Culture Report.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, because we got a lot to get into, so let's get it started. So this week, country music star Kelsea Ballerini performed at the CMT Music Awards, and she shook the table with her special guests. So drag queens Olivia Lux, Kennedy Davenport, Jan Sport, and Manila Luzon joined her. So seeing drag performers on the stage at an award show is nothing new, but it is for a country music award show, which historically has a more conservative audience than others. So it's a big mess. Obviously, she was making a statement with this performance. And the song was called, it's her new song, it's called If You're Going Down, I'm Going Down Too. It's giving very much political, which we appreciate, especially with all the drag bands going on.
Right.
So, I mean, how do y'all feel about the performance?
I feel like country music as a whole is kind of evolving in a different way, where at least when I was growing up, country music was very rugged, very rough and tough. Guys listen to it. And now it's not so much the genre that has those stereotypes, it's certain artists, and certain artists are leaning towards, more inclusive thoughts. Shania Twain is another one that, we love Queen Shania, but she's also an ally and shown her allyship. So I think it's bringing forth a larger discussion of where the genre is going.
Yeah, allyship in country, especially in the past few years, I've been seeing it on the rise, especially with Maren Moore on, she was on RuPaul's Drag Race. And Casey Musgraves was on Drag Race. She had drag queens during her concert.
Maybe because I feel like country music, when I was growing up, there was a lot of gatekeeping. So all the artists and the music sounded the same, and there was an exclusion of certain type of artists that we see today, like black and brown country artists, queer country artists. And I think that's evolved a lot. And now that those people are planted inside country music, they're opening the door and spreading it wider and opening it for more diversity to come in. So I thought it was really cool to see her use this platform for multiple issues and political statements.
When I think about the backlash, I think of course, I feel like country music fans, it's kind of sacred to them. So when they see some change, they're like, oh no, I don't like this. Because under her pictures, everybody's saying oh, here we go, she's woke, CMT went woke, CBS went woke. But I mean, even CMT and CBS came out in support of it. They were fine with it. They were there during the rehearsal. I can't speak. They were there during the rehearsals. And it was still I mean, they were with it, so they just need to get with it.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are. They will. We will see more evolution in country music. Well, at least I hope.
Especially if we get more representation.
Right.
Because our boy Orville Peck has been holding it down. I haven't done much research on LGBTQ people in country music, but I love him so much, and he needs some company. He needs some company at the table.
So this week, Native American kids from across the country came together in Colorado for the 38th annual Amarid All-West Native American 100 Basketball Classic. Sports reporter Jacob Tobey was there, and so let's take a look at it.
1, 2, 3, defense!
For nearly 40 years, the All-West Native American Basketball Classic has brought hoops and culture
Greetings, my people.
to Colorado. At the Gold Crown Fieldhouse in Lakewood, 111 teams from different states and tribes came together.
I've been bringing kids since probably almost 15, 14 years.
With the stands full, you learn that basketball is king in Indian country.
When you see a Native team in the gym off the reservation, that gym's packed. I think just the morale of the kids, meeting different coaches from different reservations, sharing a little, where you come from, and and letting them know that, we're all here to support one another.
After 6 years of playing in this tournament, Jawan Garnier of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota is back. watching.
Coming here to this tournament, it means a lot to be able to play, to be able to show out, and just showcase your skills. It's a lot of fun. It's great for the culture.
A culture that loves the game. Just ask board member Felix McGowan, who played in this tournament in the late 80s. He went on to play at Gonzaga.
It was awesome to come play against guys that you didn't see and you heard about. You know, you heard about guys from South Dakota that you were playing and guys from different reservations. It was fun to come to one place and have a chance to, you know, square off against them and see who's better.
It's also an opportunity to gain exposure and new life experiences. A lot of these athletes have never even left their respective reservations.
I feel like it's so important because it like unites a lot of the Native people together and just get to come here and do something we love and play basketball. I'd like to play D1 for sure, but just trying to make it to the next level.
I think this is a really good event to showcase that Natives do have that capability of like being great, and so yeah, there's a lot of great talent here. Like just walking around and looking at a game, you can tell like we're right up there with everyone else in basketball.
In Lakewood, representing the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, Jacob Tobey, 9 News.
Hey, awesome. Today we have Jacob Tobey with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Love it. Appreciate it.
No problem. First, I just want to know, like, what was it like for you being there?
Yeah, so like I said in the piece, I'm Native American from the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, which is from Massachusetts. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It was one of the first tribes I met, the Pilgrims. So that's kind of the history of my background and where I'm from. And yeah, I mean, being there, like, it gave me an extra sense of joy and pride being around, you know, some of my Native American brothers and sisters. And I love basketball. It's my favorite sport. So anytime I can combine that love for the love that I have for, you know, my culture and stuff like that, that's super important to me. And also I know like the position I'm in right now, trying to grow the game, trying to grow the culture, I think it was just cool to be there. And the thing that I love most is like people were coming up to me nonstop saying, thank you for being here. You know, thank you for showcasing this. Because they feel unrepresented. They feel like they don't get a lot of the coverage that maybe some other events get around town. And this is the 38th edition of it. I mean, this has been going on for almost 40 years, like I said in that package. And not a lot of people that aren't Native know about it. So I thought it was a great idea to go and to kind of showcase that. It was awesome.
I loved it because I've been exposed to that. I thought that was a really cool way to increase representation. But did that start here in Colorado?
Yeah, so it's been held in Colorado for all 38 times. It started on the Aurora campus at MSU Denver for a couple of years, and then they switched it to Lakewood, Gold Crown Fieldhouse, which former Nugget Bill Hanslick is kind of behind that. He was there hosting the event and did a great job. Again, 111 teams, which is amazing. It started, I was talking to Felix, one of the guys that I interviewed for that piece. He said it started with 56 teams. Wow. So it's doubled over the years. Wow. Nice. And everyone, you know, from a different state, you know, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. I don't think there's any from the Northeast, my area, but still, I mean, it's grown and it's getting bigger, and 38 is a ton of times to be able to do something like that. And so I was asking people, I was like, how crazy is it that it's been happening 38 times? And they just couldn't believe how much it's grown and how popular it was. The gym was packed. I mean, it is flooded.
It looked like it.
So yeah, it was fun.
So I want to know, like, I feel like, of course, they had a good time playing basketball there, but another big part of it is just finding community. So I want to know what it's been like or what it is like just for a Native American person trying to find that community if they're looking for it.
Yeah, there are a lot. So I grew up in Massachusetts around my tribe. I lived next to the town that the reservation was in. And so I kind of grew up around it a little bit. Before I came to Denver, I was working in Oklahoma, which is filled with Native American history and culture. And so I got a good grasp of that there. And then moving to Denver, obviously I moved here during COVID, so it was a little challenging to like find that space. But recently I've kind of teamed up with people at the Denver Indian Center, Denver Public Schools. DPS has an Indian group as well that they do great work with, and I've started to do stuff with them. We had a Nuggets game in December that was Native American Heritage Night. We had a couple people on the news, interviewed them, showcased that. And so I'm just, I'm trying to do more of it. I feel like I can kind of grow that culture and mix it with sports, because everyone loves sports, right? And so if I can be there supporting at sporting events and also other events like DPS events, I want to be there. So I've started a relationship with DPS, which has been great. and I want to continue to do that. But yeah, it's just, there are so many Native Americans here, and they want to be heard, they want to be represented, and I think, we're going to try to do more of that on 9 News. And this is a great opportunity to talk about it too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Speaking of basketball, what are the biggest stories of the week? Happened on the basketball court.
One of the most talked about moments of this week came towards the end of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. It was an exciting game that ended with an LSU victory over Iowa. Angel Reese, the small forward for LSU, boasted in front of Caitlin Clark, the guard for Iowa. You've probably seen it online. Reese points at her ring finger, does the "can't see me" celebration. But she got ridiculed for it when Clark had actually done the same exact thing earlier in the tournament. The reaction on social media was polarizing, and First Lady Jill Biden actually got involved in the conversation while visiting Colorado. Take a listen.
So congratulations to both teams. So I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So, we'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too, because they played such a good game. So, right? So winners and losers, that's sportsmanship. That's good sportsmanship.
It is odd to invite the losers to the White House in situations like this. Normally, it's just the champion of a major sporting event. Angel Reese responded online with laughing emojis. She said, quote, "a joke." Iowa's head coach also responded, saying that she thinks the honor belongs to LSU only. She also invited the Bidens to Iowa's house, the Carver Hawkeye Arena. Biden's press secretary also attempted to clarify what she meant on Twitter, saying the comments were, quote, "intended to applaud the historic game and all women athletes." So I have to say, I think the invitation was tone deaf, given all of the controversy happening on social media, the criticism of Angel Reese. But I also think she was just trying to celebrate women in sports. It was a bad time for her to make that comment.
Actually, I'm not a sports person, so I had to do a little research because I was like, well, why can't she invite both teams? And then I realized that it was unprecedented for the losing team to also be invited. And then what I saw, the conversation was like, had it been the black team that lost, would they have been invited? So
I don't know. Jacob Tobey, you are our resident sports guy here. So I just want to know, what was your reaction to all this?
Well, I think there's two stories here. One, the backlash that Angel Reese was getting for doing the motion she did, and then what Lady Biden said. And I disagree with what Lady Biden said. I mean, the whole culture of everybody gets a trophy, everybody wins, that's just, it's not true. It's not what happens in life. There are winners, there are losers. We have to learn that at a young age. And that's been a talking point for a long time, is when you're in youth sports, everybody gets a trophy when you complete the season. That's a big debate, in my opinion. We got to start laying off that a little bit, just because, again, you need to learn to lose. When you lose, you learn a lot of lessons. I lose a lot of stuff in my life, but I learn from it. So, and younger kids will understand that. So I think she probably maybe got a little confused with her words and stuff like that, like you said, Victoria. So, push that to the side. I think the bigger thing was the backlash surrounding Angel Reese and what she was doing. Again, Caitlin Clark comes out yesterday as well and says, hey guys, she can do it. It's competition. I think, you look at a guy like Steph Curry. He's one of the greatest players of all time, and he's also out there dancing. He's out there celebrating. He's out there having fun. So men can do that, but women can't. You know what I mean? And especially a black woman that can't do that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's competition. It's sports. It should be fun. It should be playful. It's not that emotional or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I think for her to get backlash on Twitter and social media was disrespectful to the culture, disrespectful to her. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest players of all time, has been supporting her on Twitter 100%. She calls him his uncle. She calls him her uncle. So, I mean, people we know.
But that's what happens in sport, though. Don't they talk mess and get competitive with each other?
Absolutely.
It's so odd to me that it made headlines. Because I was like, doesn't this happen literally during every game at some point?
Yeah, there's trash talk, there's different things, and there's different ways people can express their emotions on the court. It's all between the lines. I know for a fact, those girls don't, there's no hate or, animosity towards each other. They're competitors.
I love how they interact with each other.
And Angel knows that Caitlin Clark is a really good player, and Caitlin Clark knows that Angel's a really good player. They're both two of the best players in the country. Clark might be the best player in the country. She's white, Angel's black. Doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? So So the whole thing was blown apart. Blown up in proportion, and I just think we got to calm down a little bit. We got to get mad at other things besides players holding up ring fingers and other taunting
going on in the world.
Yeah, there's way worse issues.
Right. Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. Can I come back here?
Anytime.
Okay.
Of course.
All right, cool.
This is your permanent seat.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Love it. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
So we're going to hop into our good news of the week. Democratic lawmakers from Washington and Massachusetts are reintroducing a trans Bill of Rights. This comes after a wave of anti-trans legislation that's going across the country. The proposed bill will provide a framework of protections for trans and non-binary people and calls for the federal government to amend the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to include gender identity as a protected characteristic.
And it's monsoon season. The longest running and most successful science fiction series in the world is getting a lot more inclusive. Doctor Who just cast award-winning actress and drag performer Jinx Monsoon in its upcoming season. She's joining an already wonderfully queer season, with Pete McHale becoming the show's first trans male actor, and Ncuti Gatwa, the first black actor to assume the iconic role of the Doctor.
My good news is the latest Barbie trailer, but I'm gonna need you to hear me out. So as a kid, I always wanted a Barbie that looked like me. I'm Hispanic, I have brown hair. Barbie is very clearly not that. The closest I could get was my girl Teresa, and I have no hate for her at all. We loved her. But it's so nice to see the different levels of representation within this trailer. You have Issa Rae is gonna be the Barbie president, and we have Simu Liu is also playing Ken. So there's just so many different Barbies and Kens in this movie, and I think that really matters, and that's gonna really open the door to younger kids getting access to dolls that look like them and you know, having that chance.
Agree, absolutely. Especially, I mean, I just love this generation because I feel like all the kids, I'm a little bit jealous of the kids these days because I'm like, y'all are getting everything that we did not get. Like, I mean, I love it for them, but also like, I'm a little salty.
Representation is increasing across the board, but like we want to continue this good news and bringing everyone into the conversation and spotlighting this culture news. So this week we are inviting you to join the conversation with us. So email us at culturereport@9news.com and let us know what good news you're seeing that's uplifting your communities.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Culture Report. We'll be back to continue the conversation next Thursday right here on our free 9 News Plus app and 9news.com. Bye.